Welcome back to Musk and Mates. Jig and I are back with a brand new installment. This time we'll be discussing the continuous failures of Blizzlike 1x private servers such as Felmyst and ask the question, are servers like Turtle WoW or the upcoming Project Epoch the future of private servers?
Well, we hate to say it, we did kind of predict it back in 2020, but 1x Blizzlike, in my opinion, Musk at this point is dead.
There's just undeniable proof at this point. There's Darrowshire, Everlook, and now the recent Felmyst. It's pretty much a double digit, maybe like 300 pop server, and we can pop onto this. We can pop onto these Reddit. There's like Reddit threads, right? So the census from 11 days ago. I mean, obviously this is just some random Reddit comment, so like there's shills. He could be lying, but everyone I've seen, and even people who are like, man, I really love this server, I really like this server, they want the server to succeed, they're saying it's dead too. So I think the consensus is dead. And on the Discord, it was very open. Like, I could say whatever, you could say whatever you want, you could like meme on the server, but after it started failing, I think I went in there and I typed something about the server pop, and I don't even think I wasn't even being belligerent for once, and I got insta banned. So you can tell it's a sensitive topic with Gummy and his staff. But so 11 days ago, census at 344 EST, which is peak time, was 382 active players, and now the server has like cross faction and everything, so it's pretty clear that it's struggling for players. And this was like, I just want to go back to, like, if we go back in time to the peak renaissance back in 2019, or no, that was classic, like even earlier than that, when Felmyst was in beta, right? And I remember like S-Fan streaming this, and this is when Lights Hope and all these servers were at their peak. I remember Felmyst TVC, the 1x server, having around fucking 10k players, and now 1x servers are struggling to break 2k pop on launch, and then they're just dying.
They die viciously as well. They die very rapidly. Look, I don't think we should understate it. Felmyst has been a cataclysmic disaster. Like, there's no way around it. This, and there's multiple reasons for that. It's not just the fact that it's a Blizzlike server, like, it's also the fact that Gummy's a fucking retarded moron. That's like a big problem as well. And the guy has like no one trusts that guy. Like, no one wants to play on a server where this guy like constantly pulls away the keys and like shuts down his own servers and like fakes DMCA strikes. So like, who the fuck would want to play on that server to begin with? But regardless, there was a lot of people that were talking up this server as it was going to be like the greatest thing ever, and they've been talking up this server for a while now. Now, there is still a successful TBC Blizzlike server currently happening right now, which is Netherwing. Well, I guess, I don't know what it's called. What's it called now? It's from the Atlantis team.
It's Stormforge.
Stormforge, yeah, so this was meant to be a Stormforge killer, is basically how he positioned himself. Like, he was getting into fights of like Wolfenstein, who's like a lead dev of Stormforge. He was getting into fights with that guy on like our WoW servers, like just talking massive shit and saying like basically all their scripting's wrong and like his scripting's like perfect. So he was clearly coming for them. It's a fail. It's an L. I think the server after like 4 days was sub 1,000. Like, it's over. Like, the server's totally dead. Gummy's career's finished. No one trusts this guy. No one gives a shit. And the truth is that no one gives a fuck about Blizzlike anymore. Bro, you made a Blizzlike TBC server? Congratulations. Like, no one gives a fuck. No one actually gives a single shit. Like, people want V+. But they've seen Blizzlike on WoW Classic. They saw Blizzlike Vanilla. They saw Blizzlike TBC. Great. We've already been there and done that. It's not cool anymore. Okay, like that's old news. That was cool back in like 2016, 2017, 2018. Even by 2018, it was starting to get a little bit tedious, to be honest. But now the future is very clearly planted in customized content with this sort of, with a Blizzlike kind of aura to it, but like just adding on top of it, making new content on vanilla while still keeping the authenticity of vanilla. That's not an easy thing to do, but there is one server coming out that to me is the definition of success in that regard, and that is Project Epoch. I'm looking at Project Epoch, and these guys get it. They thematically get it, and they understand how to add content to vanilla without while still making it feel and look like vanilla. They get that. So all this Felmyst shit, no one gives a fuck. Those servers are done. People care about Epoch. People, as much as I'm not really a huge fan of Turtle WoW because I think the custom content's rubbish, people give a fuck about Turtle WoW. I mean, they had 15,000 people online today. That's not an accident. That's not a joke. Like, that's unfathomable numbers. That probably, I mean, right now, Turtle WoW probably holds the crown for, like, the most populated WoW server ever, right? In terms of private servers. I think it's more populated than us.
I think it might. And that's the thing. I hate to be like a fucking arrogant, or actually I don't. I love being that way. I love gloating, so I don't know why I'm saying that, honestly, but we'll react to this later. But I went back and found a clip of a previous podcast from 2020 where Jig here and I basically said exactly what we're saying now, but we said it 3 years ago, and we were fucking right, because 2021 we had Darrowshire 2K. It was maybe 4K pop on launch, and they were like trying to carry the torch of NOS. They were trying to like carry the torch, be the NOS server, do it right, because classic WoW, Blizzard's classic WoW was a failure, and it maybe dropped down to, it maybe had 4K on launch, dropped down to 2K, and maybe dropped down to like 1500, and half the population was Chinese, and there's like a group of purists, like 1x, I would call them zealots, and I get it, they like the game that way, and I honestly think vanilla is probably better 1x, but the reason Felmyst failed is because TBC is not vanilla. TBC is a PvE expansion. TBC is the vanilla WoW style game, but it's been, the PvE content is way better. It's like a PvEers expansion, and it has a very loyal player base. Even me personally, TBC is probably my favorite expansion, and I remember calling it in Felmyst Discord, and as the server was coming out, all these loyalists or whatever to the 1x pure experience are rambling about how it's going to be the next big server, and oh, this is way better, like why would anyone want to play shitty Netherwing 5x whatever, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, when you're playing TBC, especially when you're playing TBC, you're playing it as a PvE player, and so you're gonna want buffed content. And when you have buffed content in TBC with annoying ass attunements, and it's probably the most hardcore, grindy, neat expansion there is,
sure, yeah.
You can't have 1x on a private server, because the attrition is gonna kill every fucking guild that tries to play. You're not gonna kill any content. You're gonna level Dukera, burn out an SSC because you have to attune some new dumbass every week, which already happens on Stormforge's server on NA. So EU is pretty much the only thing that's alive, and maybe one NA guild on Stormforge. So anyone who actually plays TBC saw this coming. It was so obvious. It's just pure delusion.
1x vanilla makes way more sense than 1x TBC.
Yeah,
like
who wants to fucking level 1x TBC and let me level through the same zones, fucking 1 to 60 so I can, and then you get the fucking Outland, dude. Do you know how slow Outland 1x feels? It is
incredibly tedious.
I did it on Netherwing 1x all the way to 70. Man, it was fucking brutal. It was fucking brutal.
Same, I did it as well. It took ages. I mean, the first couple of levels are pretty quick, and then it just drops off a fucking cliff.
And I
like at 64.
I had a lot of fun actually doing TBC, because I played TBC when I was a kid. That was the first expansion I played, and I never really got to do it. But so I had fun the first time through TBC on 1x. But the second time, even on Netherwing 2, I wanted to kill myself, and on Netherwing 3, I think I had the XP boost, and I couldn't even level. I think it was 4x or 8x. I don't remember with the XP boost.
8x.
I had to get boosted, and then someone else leveled my fucking character from 62 to fucking 70. I can't handle it anymore, man. And a lot of people.
Well, I think a lot of people feel like that. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people just don't want to do that. I mean, if you've got for instance, like Project Epoch, like there's gonna have a shit ton of custom content on this. This is like look, I don't want to sound like a shill, but at the same time, I actually just don't give a fuck. Like this server. Like from what I've seen coming out of it, you guys this is the next NOS. Like I'm calling it now. Like you guys this Project Epoch is gonna be that server that 3 years after it launches, people are going to look back and be like, I fucking wish I was there at launch. I wish I was there at launch to experience what those guys got to experience. That's how people talk about Nost. I wish I was there at launch on Nost, because the Nost has turned into like this sort of almost mythical, like it's bigger than what the actual, like the rumors and the nostalgia about it is actually bigger than what the server was. Like that's what it's turned into. I think it's going to be the same for Epoch. Epoch is going to be this groundbreaking, totally groundbreaking vanilla plus server with tons of custom content, totally brand new landscapes because they're building on a Wrath based client, so they can actually edit properly. This is going to be it. Like, this is going to be groundbreaking. This is going to be revolutionary. People say Total WoW is revolutionary. Total WoW is not revolutionary. Total WoW is what we call like a foot in the door. What comes after that, which is Epoch, that's going to be fucking revolutionary, because the content's going to be off the charts. We're talking like entirely new raids you've never seen before. We're talking almost, I believe they've almost got like over 1,000 new quests at this point, with new zones, like all types of crazy, brand new looking mobs. Like new, it's gonna be insane, bro. Like it's gonna be a whole new expansion. It's gonna be vanilla, but with an expansion pack. So imagine TBC never came out and they just expanded on like vanilla. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be fucking epic. Okay, like you have to be there. Like you have to be there for this shit. And if you're not gonna be there for that shit, you're gonna look back in 3 years and say, fuck, I missed that, man. I missed the second golden era private servers. That's what you're going to say. And I understand that I sound like a fucking salesman right now, and I'm probably doing a pretty good job selling it. But, like, I'm just speaking facts. Like, you know, I shit on servers all the time. I can't shit on the server. Every single thing I've seen come out of this server just makes sense. It just makes sense. To the point where I can't even believe it's a real thing, because it makes perfect fucking sense to me. Everything they're doing is good. Yeah. And I've never said that about another sub. Every single thing they're doing makes perfect sense. The only thing I have a little tiny disagreement over them is the fact that they claim that they can't really ban Chinese. They're probably not wrong, because I think the Chinese all use VPN, so like that's kind of like fair. I think you could like geo-block them, but then they're saying like, well, we can't really geo-block them because then we'd block Australians and stuff like me. And who wants to block me from their server? Like, come on, bro. Like, so we can't block me. So like, so you know. I get it, but they're basically their rule around this is they're going to say anyone who speaks in any public like chat or anything has to speak in English, or you're getting like banned. I believe that's like their angle of attack here. So when you log in, you're only going to see English. So that's fair enough to me. That's good enough, I think. Because if you can't really block them, then you have to just like censor them. I think that's how you do it. But you know, I think this is going to be it, man. I really do. Like, this is pre Blizzard, because Blizzard has not done V+. So this is once again before them. Like, Nostralius was before Blizzard released WoW Classic. That's why it was so epic. Project Epoch is going to be before before Blizzard releases their Vanilla Plus. And by the way, I think Blizzard's Vanilla Plus, if they ever put one out, will just be horrible, because I don't think they actually get it. Like, I don't think that the people that work there, I don't think they fundamentally actually understand how vanilla functions. So, like, I just don't see how they would ever thematically get it correct. I think everything would look weird.
They don't understand any of their games. Like, there was a recent video put out of the Diablo 4 devs playing their own game, and like, it's just this fat man-looking woman spamming one button and dying on leveling content. And I never even played Diablo 4. I haven't even watched anything or looked up anything. I don't even really know anything about the fucking game, but I saw that. And I'm just like, that's why I didn't buy it. That's why I didn't even give a fuck, because anything Blizzard comes out with, I just automatically write off as a piece of shit, because the company's trash. Everything they produce is trash. It's just a worthless shitbox piece of shit fucking company. Like,
everything's just a money grab.
They're just garbage. And they just have these devs that they'll hire a dev, and the devs like design, oh, I only designed this piece of content. Before, it was all the devs kind of had a grand scope of the whole game, and they would all work in unison. But now it's like, oh, I'm this retarded dev that designs this one. I design end rooms of. I design puzzle rooms of the dungeon, and they don't have any grasp of like the whole game. So they just make some random fucking piece of shit content.
And then everything gets pieced together awkwardly. Like, it's true. Okay, what's missing? I don't want to rant about Blizzard headquarters too much, but like, what's fundamentally missing there compared to like, let's say, when Vanilla was being made from? I believe Vanilla was being designed from like 2001 to 2004. Like, that's when it was being designed.
Yeah.
What's fundamentally missing from then compared to now is like passion. Like, those guys back then were genuinely passionate about what they were doing.
And they were actually gamers. They played their own game.
Well, yeah, they wanted to play the fucking game. Like, the people, if you go to Blizzard headquarters now and go in like the art department or like the fucking raid design or whatever the shit, the people there probably just don't give a fuck. Like they're like working a 9 to 5. They hate their life. They hate their job. You know, they get molested by like the higher ups there at Blizzard headquarters. And they probably just like they just don't give a fuck. Like they just want to get paid and go home. Like it was just fundamentally different back then. It was like a group of nerds who invested everything into like their company, and like they were genuinely having fun creating something that they wanted to play. That's the difference. Okay, that's why this current company cannot do a vanilla expansion because it just won't work. Okay, it's not the right people. But that's why Project Epoch can. Because it's being run by fans. Like the people who are making Project Epoch, these guys are super fans. Like these are like the mega nerds that you want doing this shit because these guys care about it probably just as much as the guys developing the game back in 2001 did. They're like mega massive nerds that are obsessed with vanilla WoW. That's who we need making this shit. Not some fucking numbnut who's doing like a 9 to 5, getting paid 20 an hour and then fucks off home so he gets like, oh, like I had a horrible day at work, like, oh, now the wife's nagging me. We don't need that. We don't need that shit in our lives. We need real dudes. Like, we need real hard R's out here. That's what the fuck we need. Like, we need real ends. So, like, that's what the Epoch team is. It's full of passionate as fuck people who give a shit, and they're trying to recreate vanilla while also keeping vanilla authentic. And I endorse the fuck out of that, Whatever happens, happens. Launch could come. It could be totally horrible. You never know. You never truly know. I beta tested it. I thought it felt great, so I just don't think that's going to happen. But, like, I'm pumped for this server, man. I haven't been pumped for a server since, like, probably the first Netherwing was the first time I was pumped for a server. I haven't been pumped since then. I'm pumped the fuck up. This is the second Golden Age coming. Blizzlike sucks dick. 1x sucks dick. Although I think Epoch is going to be 1x, but that's fine because there's tons of brand new content.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
It's like it's a new game. It's WoW,
yeah,
but it's all new content. All the old content. I know they're redoing the dungeons.
Yeah,
I've only
all the dungeons have been revamped.
I've seen screenshots, and I was just like skimming through a video while you were talking. And I'm actually glad. I don't know fucking anything about the server other than a few screenshots and what you've told me, because I'm kind of the last year or so or two I've been away from this whole shit, so I'm kind of just learning about everything that's going on again. And it's gonna actually be epic not fucking knowing everything about the server. I'm just gonna go in fucking. I like doing this. I did this with Valheim as well. Just go in fucking blind. I'm not looking anything up. I'm not fucking reading anything. If someone links me a guide, I'm gonna fucking send a bomb to their house in Minecraft. Like, I don't want anything. I just want to fucking go out, play the game for how it is. And I also want to react to this video of us talking 2-3 years ago, and I want to just say that Big Musk and Jig are right. And I know everyone likes to fucking throw the Alex was right meme around, and I just want to throw a jab at Alex because he just spent the last month shilling Felmyst and saying how Felmyst is going to be the resurgence. And I think he didn't. I don't remember the exact numbers he put. I know he didn't think it was going to be 10k, but I think he said it was going to be around 3-4k probably. But the server was a joke. Like, Felmyst is a joke. Gummy's a failure. I just want to rip on Gummy some more because that guy's a fucking loser.
What has Alex actually been right about?
Nothing.
Like, is there a single thing? He doesn't get anything right. Well, the thing about Big Musk and Mate, it's like a comedy podcast almost because it's like absurd. But we actually get shit right. Like 3 years in advance. Like, we actually predict shit. Alex couldn't predict anything. He was shilling the fuck out of Felmyst, and he was talking shit about Vanilla Plus, and now he's done a total 180 within 2. This guy doesn't know. I'm sorry, but like, look, if you're trying to like predict the future by watching Alex Central videos, you don't know anything, bro. Like, you don't. You're fucking blindfolded. Like, you don't know. This guy couldn't predict fucking what day tomorrow is. He couldn't predict, like, is it going to be like a Tuesday tomorrow? Like, he wouldn't even know. This guy can't predict anything. He doesn't have a good read on anything. His claim to fame was basically like his only claim to fame was exposing Elysium character selling, I believe. That was about it. That's like the only thing he's been like correct on. Since then, he's just been an absolute joke. Like, everyone just like points and laughs at him. So like, if you're watching Alex Central, I know a lot of people that watch us watch Alex Central, but if you're actually, you can watch him as like a humorous thing because like he is funny to laugh at, like a zoo creature, like point and laugh at the zoo animal. But like, look at the dumb gorilla like throwing dung at like the wall. Like, that's what Alex Central is like.
Yeah.
But if you actually trying to get like facts and see like where the future of private servers is and what way private servers are moving, don't watch that dude because that dude has some sort of personality disorder, and like he will switch within a minute to something else 180. So he can't predict anything.
He's not objective either, right? he just doesn't have that objectivity because I could like any TBC player. I'm not saying I'm the only one who predicted this, obviously, but I was even going through this thread and other people that play TBC, like TBC, this guy here right here, Herix Noob. TBC is the type of expansion where 1x and no changes just kills the server. That's what I was saying before Felmyst even launched. You can't do a 1x TBC server anymore. It's just shit. And I said that earlier in the episode. I just wanted to reiterate on it. And I was saying that before the server came out. I didn't make any videos or anything, but I made some community posts and then I was flaming people in fucking Felmyst Discord. So like anyone with a brain could see that. Anyone with a shred of objectivity could see that. And now let's watch this.
Hold on. I just want to say one more thing when it comes to Alex, right? Like, Alex is a great canary in the coal mine when it comes to something being deeply unpopular, because even to the point where he's not endorsing it anymore. So, like, Alex Central was really well known as, like, a Blizzlike, this guy was like a Blizzlike elitist, hardcore, no changes guy, right? And that wasn't just for WoW Classic, that was also for private servers. He didn't want any changes anyway, he wanted pure Blizzlike. This guy recently said in one of his community posts on YouTube that, like, what did he say? Fuck no changes, hashtag V Vanilla Plus or something. Basically endorsing like Vanilla Plus. There we go, right there. What does he say? Fuck no changes. So if this guy's saying fuck no changes, that shit's over, bro. Like, I'm so like, if this is the guy who was a massive Blizzlike superfan, if even he's saying basically fuck Blizzlike, it's over. Like, the future is clearly in V Plus servers, okay? Blatantly. So that we can hit him with the video now that we did 3 years ago and just literally knocked it out of the park. Hit him with that.
And the thing is, he'll be so committed to something, like he was Felmyst, and then it flops as predicted, and then he just pretends like he was right the whole time. And now he's on Turtle WoW, even though he's been like no changes. Now he's
no. He was shitting on Turtle WoW like crazy a couple of months ago. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, whatever. I mean, but it just goes to show you that, like, Blizzlike's over. Like, it's dead.
Yeah, it's over. So let's listen to this now.
I love everything here, pretty much. Like, this is amazing. This is the future of vanilla on private servers. Giving something that Blizzard will not offer and can't offer because they're too lazy or they're out of touch. This is the future of vanilla on private servers. Make no mistake about it. Shit that is actually cool added to vanilla. Okay. Earning XP from battlegrounds is cool. You know, the added skins, sick. I love that. The Iron Dwarfs, so cool. Heroic dungeons, epic. I like that. That's amazing. Straight facts. The city protector system is cool. The bounty hunter system is cool. Everything is fucking great. Like, I really, really like this. I actually wish the best for the server. I really hope they succeed. I hope that their scripting is good. I hope it all goes well, because this could be a fucking game changer. The stuff I'm reading here is amazing.
Yeah, these are good changes. Like, add guild banks to this and you have a really solid server.
100%. They should add guild banks, I agree.
Yeah, it's a really good feature.
Like, we're at the point where, like, pure no changes, I think the novelties worn off. And you I know Blizzard's isn't really a pure no changes.
July 6th? Is that June or July?
Like,
I can't see on the screen.
June
6, 2020. Pause the video. There you have it. Throw me an Alex prediction that is that bang on. 3 years earlier, what was going on in 2020? Fucking nothing was going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that was when
I roll out of fucking bed and make better predictions than Alex Central does. I want that to be crystal clear. This guy, Alex, was right. That's not even real. Like, that's not a real thing. JWR, as far as I'm concerned, because, like, Alex has never made a prediction like that. Like, let's be real. Like, that's some serious shit right there. To predict that 3 years in advance. What was Turtle WoW doing in 2020? I think they had like 50 people and they were like role playing a Goldshire. Like, nothing was going on.
It was like a 0.5x RP PvE server, and it had 50 players, 100 players, and there was no custom content. That was Turtle WoW. It was trying to be like Giga Blizzlike, and Classic WoW was still out, but I think it was around AQ or Nax patch, and Netherwing 2 was right around the corner, which is what we played, which is part of the why we stopped doing the podcast, because we just got addicted to that shit, and I also just kind of burning out. But like, this prediction, and look at this prediction. I'll continue it after what I said after Jig here, but basically we made this prediction, Jig and I, and then 2021, Darrowshire, it never lived up. Everlook never lived up. Felmyst TBC the year after, flop. They all flop. They're all dead. Like, They
They pop
never.
harder and harder, actually.
No one remembers them, and so this was a spot-on prediction. I'm just gonna sit there and sniff my own farts for a while because I deserve it, and so Jig deserves to. Just like we were
Pat
fucking.
ourselves in the back. Fuck it.
We're fucking right. So I just want to finish listening to what I say here.
Yeah, it's a really good feature.
Like we're at the point where like pure no changes. I think the novelty is worn off, and you kind of. I know Blizzard's isn't really a pure no changes, but it's kind of like that's kind of if you want a Blizz-like experience, I guess you go to Blizzard. But I think Gerbashi, like at least what they're saying here, we obviously don't have any footage, we don't have a beta, we don't have anything but their word of mouth here. So what they're saying sounds really good.
You know, it's true. Like maybe it'll turn out. Maybe the scripting will be dog shit.
So yeah, so basically I was saying the same thing as Jig. I was just saying.
Yep.
I think the novelty of 1X is worn off, and that was 2020. So it's been
There you
proven.
go.
Turtle WoW is taking over as king currently, and Epoch's coming out. And
Right
I
around the
think
corner.
Epoch will probably get around the same players. There's going to be a huge. Just think of. You have to think of all the streamers and YouTubers that are going to be showing this shit. Just they're all going to be playing this shit, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, look. The funny thing is, right, is like there's a very obvious pattern here because like first it was Darrowshire that was like a flop. That took like maybe 2 months to flop, I would say, and then really like die. Everlook died rapidly, and people will say like, oh, but like the player base was large, bro. They're all Chinese. Okay, those people don't count. Like Chinese people don't count. No one gives a single fuck. Okay, if you have 5,300 pop server and 5,000 of them are Chinese, you have a dead server. Let's make that crystal clear. Okay, no one wants to play with Ding Bang Wong and Jing Dao Wan. Like no one gives no one gives a fuck about a Chinese server. Like these people are like parasites. Like I'm just gonna keep it 100. Like I would rather play with like 100 English people than 5,000 Chinese people, and I'm not kidding, by the way. Like I'm actually being dead serious. So, you know, Everlook died. The Western player base on Everlook died within about a month. Darrowshire died in about 2.5 months. And then fucking Felmyst died within about 4 days. So it actually is getting more and more vicious.
I finally have all my bliss.
The speed of death for Blizzlike servers is actually picking up in pace. Like it's unreal. Like we're reaching, like next, they're gonna have like I think maybe White Kidney will release another server, and it might die in about 6 minutes. Like at this rate, like that'll be the next one. Like 6 minutes in, and everyone will be logging off. So like it's over, man. Like Blizzlike is done for the foreseeable future. Maybe in 10 years when it becomes cool again, that they might bring it back. But like, because everything happens in cycles. But like Blizzlike's been done. We've been done that. We done that shit. We done that shit good. Okay. And now we need fucking Vanilla Plus. We need some real shit. We need shit that we've never done before. We want to play Vanilla, but we want to play because like Vanilla was actually never completed. Like they actually had like a bunch of shit in the pipeline that was never put into Vanilla because they didn't have the time. So when you're playing Vanilla, you're playing a pretty incredible game, but you're actually playing a really uncompleted game. I mean, there was a whole fucking zone they didn't put in that they were meant to put in. They were meant to put in Emerald Dream. That was meant to be an actual zone in Vanilla. That never came to fruition. Okay, there's tons of shit that was meant to be to put in Vanilla. The idea of an expansion was never actually meant to exist in Vanilla. Like that didn't happen until towards the end of Vanilla, where they're like, oh wait, we can make shit tons of money out of just like adding a whole new like area, like with TBC. The idea of Vanilla, it was meant to just keep going and going and going, like. And that's what Vanilla Plus will do. So in some ways, Vanilla Plus is actually like going to be a good Vanilla Plus server will be more Blizz-like than like just stock fucking Mangos or whatever the fuck these guys want to do. Like, because that's uncompleted vanilla. And now we're going to have fan projects that finish this shit off.
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate on this Everlook thing about 1X being a failure now. This Everlook was supposed to be the server. The whole squad assembled. There was White Kidney. He was leading the charge. There was Alex Sensual shilling it. He came back last year to shill it before he got bullied out again. I don't know why he left, but he left. There was Azimos, this YouTuber with like 100,000 subscribers, was making content promoting this private server. I don't remember which channel it was on. It might be down now. Kargaz was in the Discord. There was like 16,000 people in that Discord. It was supposed to be the resurgence. Kargaz was like, we're gonna do hardcore on this server. It was like the whole scene had assembled on Everlook to play it. And that was when we made that chill video, and I think that scared Cargo's off. Even though I think we later admitted we were to him.
Well, it was a fake white kidney video.
Yeah, the fake white kidney interview. But that was like a huge thing. That all the S-Fan was in the Discord. Fucking Stay Safe was in the Discord. It was like 20 seconds, 18.
There was big eyes on it.
It was all over again, and it just flopped because at the end of the day, no one. It's just it's dead. Like, sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about Azamos is he actually joined Project Epoch server about 2 days ago.
Yeah. So exactly.
In the members list. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the wind is blowing in a very obvious direction.
And that's Vanilla Plus. Yeah.
And that's very far the fuck away from Blizzlike. So I mean that's as far as like. That's kind of like all I wanted to say in regards to like Blizzlike. I mean, it's very obviously dead. Like B plus is the future.
Reiterating, there's obvious proof that that Vanilla's dead and Turtle WoW, the 3 failed 1x servers, and then the success of Turtle WoW and the likely success of Project Epoch are just it's just proof now. It's proof.
Another thing I noticed like in regards to Blizzlike and like Vanilla Plus servers is like even on Blizzlike servers during their absolute heyday, there was always like a steady loss of players, like over from like the start of the patch towards the end, and then that's where all the whole fresh meme shit came from. I've noticed on Vanilla Plus servers that doesn't actually happen. Like they don't leech players like that. They actually grow over time. Like they start off small and then they end up really big. So it's the exact reverse of Blizzlike.
It's almost like real Vanilla was. It's almost like real WoW was, how it started off small and they kept growing over time because there's new content coming out and people haven't done anything before, so new people keep coming and coming and coming.
And there's a reason to stay. There's a reason to stay because there's new. We don't know what's around the corner. Like we have no idea. So you keep coming back. So it operates. So I mean, to be honest, Vanilla Plus in theory operates closer to like how Vanilla would have back then, with like no one knew like Nax was around the corner back then. Like it just got fucking thrown at you. Like that's why Blizzlike is a little lame as well, is that what's about to happen, and like that kills a lot of like the hype, and it just leeches players like crazy because they get to BWL patch and they're fucking out of there. Like it's just really, I don't like it. I've never been a huge fan of Blizzlike, and I've always found it to be a huge issue. And it just seems to be a problem that no one's able to fix. Like many people have tried, and every single one of them have like failed, apart from like Northdale. But Northdale was running off like WoW Classic hype, which I think kept people coming in, so like it doesn't really count. But Turtle WoW, I mean, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the server because I think the custom content's super weak. But I mean, these fuckers, man, like for a year there, they were sitting at like sub 300 players for like over a year, and then they just
like
fucking
3 years.
Well, yeah, maybe 3 years. I mean, there was nothing going on there. It used to be a meme. Like, they'd, like, plug Turtle WoW in the WoW service thing, and then, like, the top comment would be like, man, I can't wait to show up to Turtle WoW and hang out with the other 50 guys. Like, that's what the joke... Like,
yeah, they were just roasted. They're like, Shenna runs it. And I'll give them credit. Like, Turtle WoW is the biggest glow-up success story in private server history. It's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, look, I hate it, but you can't, like... you want to hate on them, but like success is success. Like they are successful by every single metric imaginable. Okay, like it is what it is at this point, and I don't mind them being successful because to me because their success spells success for potentially the Vanilla Plus scene. So I'm just like, okay, I'm happy that they're successful. Can't wait till Project Epoch comes out because like those people are gonna like go to Project Epoch and it'll be fucking awesome. So like to me, Turtle WoW is just like a hype post for like Epoch. Like the real things that come next, and maybe there'll be something even better than Epoch after Epoch comes out. Something even crazier will come out. Like you never know, but like I think Epoch will hold the crown for a bit because of just how much work has been done on it and how crazy good it is. I think it'll hold the crown for a while. I think it'll take like 3-4 years for a server to possibly overtake it. That's what I honestly think in the V Plus scene, because Vanilla Plus does take a lot of work to do. Like at serious, these guys are operating as Blizzard developers at this point. Like make no mistake about it. Like, these guys should be getting straight up paid for what they're doing. And they should actually be getting paid quite a bit. Because I think they're better, from what I've seen, and the shit that they've been releasing, and, like, the footage of what they're creating. These guys are doing better jobs than, like, what the guys that, like, that are hired by Blizzard do. You know? And I'm sure the guys that hired at Blizzard are probably making, like, pretty good money. Yeah, these guys should be making good money, but they don't give a fuck about the money. They just care because They want to create something because they have a passion for it. That's why it's probably so good. They're not doing it for money, they're doing it because they're passionate about what they're doing. And that will always be better than something that's done for purely money or profit. It always will be. I'm not a capitalist hater, but like there is just some like facts about that. Like passion equals success. You know, passionate stuff is always awesome.
A passion
you know,
project's gonna be because something that someone wants to play, that someone that plays that type of stuff, like they're gonna make something they want to play, right? Not something that's gonna get them a paycheck at the end of the day. I remember this is going back to the Blizzard devs being a failure. One thing I said, I said this a long time ago, and I always wish Blizzard did this, and I don't remember if I ever said it on video or if it was just late night Discord chats, but I wish, this is what I always wanted from Blizzard. I didn't really want Classic WoW. I didn't want them to make anything. I always wanted them to do something like a Warcraft 3 custom browser where they give you like a WoW maker tool, so you can actually design your own private server, and you pay for the hosting, or Blizzard, like you have to pay Blizzard to host your thing on their server, and then you just subscribe to fucking retail or whatever, and then there's a custom server tab, and there's a list of approved custom servers, and there's like profit sharing with Blizzard or whatever, and Blizzard owns the rights still, whatever, you know. I don't care.
You want like World of Minecraft?
Yeah, well, not even like just like fucking Warcraft 3. So like Project Ascension, I could play it on Blizzard's official realm. Project Epoch, Blizzard's official realm, and then Blizzard doesn't have to do anything, and these servers are condoned, and people can, and like there's cash. You could have a cash shop if you wanted. I mean, you don't have to play on a cash shop server. There could be a 1x Blizzlike Classic WoW server that that White Kidney hosts through the official Blizzard thing. And I mean, maybe that isn't the best thing because then Blizzard has their hands in it. But I think if Blizzard did something like that with a more hands-off approach, it would have been better for them. But there's also the argument to be made that I'm glad they didn't, because it's better just not having anything to do with Blizzard. So it's like a double-edged.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a double-edged.
I don't want them doing anything.
Yeah, it's a double-edged thing. But it would have kind of been, it would have been cool because you probably would have had. Just think of Minecraft Hypixel. I guess you did say Minecraft. Like Hypixel is just a fucking server from Minecraft. There could be like a whole dev studio that is just making a fucking custom WoW expansion, and it's playable through Blizzard's launcher, you know. And then it's almost like there'd be more resources available to make it even better. So there's like it's like a double-edged sword. There's an argument to be made for each side, but it would have been. Blizzard's just like a failure of a company, so it's better to be left up to people that are actually passionate about it.
I'm happy with I'm more than happy with private server devs at this point taking the reins. I don't want any of their bullshit, and I don't think Blizzard will ever do that again, because like they kind of did that with Warcraft 3, and they like lost the lawsuit with Dota or something, and I think that like totally pissed them off, triggered them. But so like that's like that's really all we can say about, like, I think we talked about it for a bit. Like,
yeah, I think that
it was a pretty damn good discussion actually.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a couple of questions. Like, what do you think the future of like Gummy's is? Like, what do you think Gummy's future is? Do you think he's just gonna retire?
That guy needs to just fuck off, man, and just like his servers always fail. He's a failure, and he just, I don't know, man. He's just.
You hate him?
I don't like Gummy. I fucking hate that guy, man. I fucking don't. I fucking hate him. Even though he's like he tries, and at least he's like. He's loyal to the private server scene, and I guess I don't hate him, but I hate him after fucking wasting everyone's time twice. I'll never fucking like him, and I'll never trust him because he wasted everyone's fucking time twice. And this third time, he didn't really waste anyone's time because he just released a server.
Well, the server died too quickly to,
but that wasn't
to find out if he was going to shut it down.
Exactly, it died too quickly to find out if he was going to shut it down. But the server was it's just not the time for that server. The time for the Gummy's server, the one he just released, was 2018. Was
when he released the second one, that was the time.
Yeah, if this was the server he released when he fucking faked DMCA'd himself, and he never faked DMCA'd himself, he probably would have had a 10k pop TBC server. I'm not gonna lie. But now that was the thing then. Most people had not played vanilla or TBC 1x since retail vanilla or TBC 1x, so they were fucking addicted to it. It was almost like it's new again, right? It's not new anymore. Yep. We fucking played 100 servers, so it's not new. You're out of date. You're out of touch, Gummy. You flopped again, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
And also, like, WoW Classic also just had WoW TBC, so like people don't give a fuck. Like no one cares.
Yeah, and he flopped again, just like he flops on the ground from his crippled legs. I don't know, man. Like...
Okay. Okay. So like another question then. Do you foresee yourself playing Project Epoch?
Yeah, I'm gonna play. I'm not gonna be able to play a lot. I just.
Yeah, but you do see yourself playing it, yeah.
I work 72 fucking hours, so I'm not gonna be able to neat like I used to, unfortunately. But I'm gonna play it. Just
you might end up getting addicted to it, and then wishing you could neat.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it just because it's something to do with the boys, and it's new, and I don't want to fuck. If someone posts a guide video, man, like. I'm gonna get pissed.
I think it'll be a bit I think it'll be a bit before any guides come out because, like, you know, in order to like get guides, you kind of need to like have the data, and like everyone's gonna be going into that blindfolded.
Yeah, I don't want to see someone post. Do they have like custom talents and stuff?
No, they're using TBC talents.
Oh no, that's actually sick because TBC talents are. I think TBC is vanilla PvE perfected. It's the vanilla feeling game.
Yeah.
It's like the janky vanilla classic feel, but the PvE is perfected compared to vanilla. Like if you compare the PvE content of vanilla to TBC, it still has the same GCD. Maybe once they added haste, it kind of got fucked.
Well, like half the fucking specs in vanilla are like defunct by default.
And all of them in TBC are cool and usable, even though like maybe Warlock is kind of lame, but Deep Affliction's cool, and then Boomkin's boring, but Boomkin has it has its own utility, which is fun. So I like. I really like the design of. I love the raid design of TBC, and like I love the fucking. The group, the fucking group strategy. Like, oh, we need this class here. The Arcane Mage needs a Boomkin, and the fucking hit Shadow Priest mana battery bullshit. I love that stuff.
Well, you know, like they some of the talents are like nerfed a little bit, and like a lot of the mobs are like all buffed to like make up for like because like the TBC talents are a power creep compared to like vanilla talents. Like they're stronger than the vanilla talents. So like anyone who hears that, like they've already fixed that. Like they just buff mobs and like nerf some of the talents that were like considered too OP. So like it's not really going to affect gameplay. But yeah, I'm looking. I think it's going to be good. Like, but there you go. I'm surprised. I didn't think Musk was going to play actually, but it sounds like he's interested.
I'm going to play.
Yeah. So all right. I mean, is that the end of the podcast? What do you reckon? We had a pretty good one.
The end. I mean, it was. We talked about everything we wanted to, and we may have repeated ourselves a few times, but I really want to drive home the point. Like, because
we kind of touched on it the last podcast, but I wanted to get deep into it and really talk about this. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope you guys if you guys made it this far, I hope you enjoyed listening. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was insightful in some way. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I just want to mention that. There's no set schedule for these podcasts anymore. It's not a weekly thing, and we're just gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want, just so we don't burn out, and just so it's more fun for us. Even if there's a non-WoW topic that we're interested in, or we're just gonna fucking riff on it. That's just the type of content that is interesting to me, and I'm sure to Jig as well. So.
Yep. So this is when we feel like we want to do it.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that shit, and see you later.
Peace.